Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your mid-October tarot reading. So thank you for hanging in there with me. It's October 19th, a new moon in Libra today. So we're coming into Libra, rules the seventh house. We're looking at relationships. We're looking at sort of striking a balance, systems of balance, and rebalancing what is out of balance. But I feel that there is a particularly strong look at relationship dynamics. So let's go ahead and jump in. I've already shuffled and meditated on your sign and pulled a couple of animal cards. I'm going to start by reading them from the book, and then I'll give you my intuitive 2 cents. And these animal cards, I like to use them as sort of an overarching thematic umbrella energy to keep in mind as we move through the rest of the reading. So, for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we have the Unicorn and the Lion, crossed by the Lion. And I'm going to read them from the book, but there is this feeling that we're looking into the distance here, and I feel like there's this it's almost like crossing through the veil of some kind. It's this walk from it's almost like the image I'm getting is you're starting as one person, and then there's this stepping through this doorway or stepping through this veil, and then becoming something completely different. So there is this shift, this turning of your identity and how you're showing up in the world. But before I get into that too much, so let me just read from the book. So the Unicorn, so beautiful. The Unicorn is a spirit card. There are only a couple of them, so it's quite significant that this is showing up for you. It's a significant time. All right. Here it is. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. All right, the Unicorn. Reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long, long ago? The mind answers maybe, or it could be, or no way. This very contemplation explains our relationship to divinity and encapsulates our wavering belief in the unicorn. We wonder what divinity is. We wonder where our intuition comes from and if we can really trust it. We think about a higher power, and our mind hesitates between yes, no, and maybe. Is it male or female? Does it have a name? Is it just a feeling? The Unicorn card appears and wakes us up to the curiosity about the higher self and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating the inexplicable. The mind's eye knows there is something beyond our day-to-day life, a deeper dimension to our experience. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches out to grasp something more. You are the unicorn, and you have begun your quest for answers. The Unicorn and the sixth chakra. It's no surprise the subtle essence of the Unicorn card resides at the third eye, the exact place from which the unicorn's horn extends. This center is called the Ajna chakra, or command center. The ancient yogis believed it to be responsible for our intellect, intuition, and deepest wisdom. Some say our two eyes see the past and present, while this third eye peers into the future. So here we are. We're looking into the future. There's this visionary element to this as well. Okay, so Lion. Here we go. It's taking me forever to find these today. The Lion, so much grace. Patient, regal, a complete master. The Lion is a master of the fire element and a living mascot of self-transformation. A Lion personality dedicates their life to personal and spiritual growth. This dedication inspires some and intimidates others. Therefore, the Lion is respected by all but known intimately by few. Some mistake the Lion as hard to access or aloof, yet those with a keener eye know better. Lions are observant, stealth, and precise in their word and action. They do not waste energy or resources. This card reminds us that self-mastery is available to all, no matter where our quest begins. When in balance, the epitome of peace and strength. When out of balance, withdrawn, too serious. To bring into balance, daily meditation, friendship. So there is just a really beautiful, heartfelt energy coming from these two cards. And we're looking at our beliefs and our values, and we're peering into the future. There's this feeling that I get from this card that it's both a character present in your life right now and also representing your own energy. So there is this looking up to someone or something. And spirituality, with beliefs and values, that's I feel for many of you coming up in a big way as well. There's this almost deep dive, I just heard, into your spirituality and your beliefs and your values. And there seems to be this reflective nature where you're looking, and I feel a lot of it could be coming from this character with just so much integrity that's inspiring the best in you. And there is this far, far, far-reaching energy with this beautiful Lion card and the Unicorn, but particularly the Lion card. It's this this expansive, this far-sightedness. So truly, it feels like we are peering into the future. And there is this evolution that's taking place, this personal evolution. And I want to say this, I said this with, I forget what sign it was, but it's this personal revolution, evolution and revolution as well. Very present, it's a very present energy for you. So, okay, let's keep this in mind as we move through the rest of the spread. There's just so much integrity and so much grace. And there's so much presence here. So your presence is really meaningful, particularly, always meaningful, of course, but particularly meaningful at this point in time. Presence. So here we go. Keep these in mind. And then we have, I'm looking at here, on the bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Cups with the 10 of Pentacles behind it, and then the star behind it. Wow, this is profound. And then the Mother of Cups. So this is really, really incredible. Okay, so we have that. And then for your general energy, the focal point of your reading, we have the 7 of Wands. Interesting. Crossed by the 4 of Pentacles. And then rooting the spread, anchoring it, we have the 2 of Cups, and then these wanted to come out together, and then we have the Ace of Swords reversed, and the 7 of Cups. 7, 7. Interesting. And then, for some of you, I feel like I'm looking at some sort of legal matter around relationships, perhaps. Or a decision point, that feels very strong. There's some sort of decision point that impacts your relationships, impacts partnership of some kind. Okay, recent past, we have the Three of Wands. And then moving into the near future, we have the Father of Cups. And this feels present as well, but coming in. And then crowning the energy, we have the Eight of Swords reversed. Beautiful. Okay, and then also your general energy here. We have the High Priestess, the most intuitive card in the deck. Incredible. And then we have in your environment, we have another 7. Wow. The 7 of Swords reversed. And then in hopes and fears, we have the Mother of Wands reversed. Oh, this one's tender. This card feels like hopes and fears. There's a desire for some nurturing and almost to be cared for in some way or form. Feels very tender and sensitive. And then we have, at the end of October carrying to November, we have the Eight of Wands reversed and the Sun leading into November. Good news. Okay. Okay, so here we go. The focal point. We have the Seven of Wands. So there is this rising to the occasion that's taking place in a big way, in a profound and very meaningful way to you personally. You're showing up for something that you're proud to show up for. You're honored to show up for. And although I feel there is this darkness is standing out to me. So there's this unknown and this element of vulnerability and this feeling, this sense of exposure around whatever this circumstance is. It's still you're standing out from the crowd, and you know it. I just heard, and it means something to you. There's also this feeling of responsibility with this card. So there is this, in some way or form, this feeling of a little bit heavy with responsibility to a degree, but more so it is this, so there's this heavy responsibility, or this heavy-ish responsibility, but more so we're looking at presence. There's a presence. You're showing up for something, and it's meaningful and profound. I just heard, and there's something quite quiet and still about and natural. There's something very natural about this time frame. And spirituality is coming up around this card as well. This sense of spirituality and this being in touch with that, whatever spirituality means for you. And naturalness again, and nature. There's another sign that came up for, I believe, that naturalness, but this is specific. Something about nature, the nature of things, and also a naturalness to whatever this is. So this is crossed by the Four of Pentacles, and there's this interweaving of, I just heard many parties. So there are people, it feels like on the outskirts, or there are people involved, conversations happening. And a lot of it feels like it's around finances perhaps, and also stability, what your understanding of what your relationship is to stability, and creating something that's stable and sound. And with the Four of Pentacles, we can sometimes hold things too tightly. So there is this emphasis on finding stability through, not only through the groundwork of it, through creating the groundwork of it, but also through letting go, through releasing, which brings me directly to what's anchoring the spread, which we have the Two of Cups and the Seven of Cups and the Ace of Swords reversed. So I am getting the feeling that there has been this awareness um, of restabilizing and making a decision in order to destabilizing to restabilize. So I feel like this was a significant decision point. The Seven of Cups, we're looking at perspective, and we're also looking at, and I feel that this is the case with, it's just the very literal meaning of the card, which is options, and decision, and a decision point of some kind. And the Two of Cups, we're looking at relationship, we're looking at partnership, and it's and this watery energy, this and I just heard practicality. So it's like approaching this emotional experience with an element of practicality. And I feel that that was done. And it sort of has been, that's kind of the launching pad for where you are now. And you've leapt into, you've really focused, I just heard downsized. So there is this, this sense of really getting clear, really getting specific about what your future what you want your future reality to be, and you're moving in that direction. And there has been this harnessing of your own energy, harnessing of the attention that you would pay towards yourself. So in the recent past here, I feel like you really allowed for yourself to come center stage in a whole new way, in order to benefit this greater vision for yourself. And to make sense around whatever this release was for you, whatever this decision point was, and then decision point, and also with that came some sort of release. And so I just heard rallying the troops. So now presently we're rallying the troops around something, whatever that could be. So there's sort of also this present energy is like rallying the troops around something. And in the near future, we have the Father of Cups. And this could be a Scorpio. This is a card that is associated with Scorpio. So it's this, and it feels very strongly connected to this, the regality of the lion. So there is this, and the paternal nature to this card is strong. It's this, there's this naturalness, this moving forward. So I feel for many of you that this is a character. It could be representing your own energy as well, of course, but again, I just heard mentor. So there is this looking up to to whoever whatever this energy is, and it feels profoundly emotionally fulfilling and also illuminating. It's almost through this experience with this person, there is this greater understanding of who you are. And again, I just heard rising to the occasion. And then in the near future here, we have this coming out. So we see when this card is right side up, we have all of these swords sort of pointed directly at this chrysalis. This enclosed reminds me of the Hanged Man and this stagnancy. And I feel that there is this, again, we see that we're rising to the occasion, but I feel like it's this opening up as well. So there's this new vulnerability coming in that you've yearned for, and this intimacy I just heard. So I feel like intimacy is coming in very strong over the next couple of weeks. And there's also simultaneously this reveal of this new version of yourself. So there really is this shift in how you're showing up in the world. How you're showing up and how you're experiencing being received. And the High Priestess, representing your general energy, is intuition. So you're really trusting your intuition, and you're being urged to continue to trust that intuition. And this time in particular is bringing you home to that intuitive integrity inside of yourself. And spirituality, again, is coming up strong, sort of this evaluation. And when I was shuffling, the Judgment card wanted to pop out quite a bit. And I feel that there is this, I just heard cleaning house, clearing house, and that's a present energy for multiple signs right now. And this releasing of old habits, old ways of doing things, old ways that you've approached life in the past, you're now looking to perhaps approach it differently. And there's this coming into tune with yourself and where you want to go. There's this evaluation of your worth. And you know what it is. You know your worth. But there is just sort of this understanding and this fully committing to your purpose, who you are, and what you have to offer the world. And there is this admiration, almost like this personal admiration, both of of yourself, and you're knowing that you can accomplish, you can persevere, you can accomplish your dreams. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of, you can do it, because of your ability, because of your stamina, almost your ability to push through, to persevere. So we're looking big time at your core strength and this rising to the occasion in some way or form, and really turning on all of the, like in a ship when you sort of full speed ahead sort of sensation of turning on all the propellers. So you're turning it all on. Turning on all the gears or whatever. I don't know. So then we have another 7 in your environment. 7 reversed. And again, I'm looking at this vulnerability. So 777, there is this true rising to the occasion and this sense of this propelling yourself forward. And propelling, there's this generator energy. So there's this supportive, this propelling something forward. And this vulnerability. So it's this laying it all out. So in your environment, you're sort of looking at all the different pieces. You're making sure that nothing goes unseen. That it's all out in the open, and then you're evaluating it. You're sort of taking stock. You're looking at it. You're having conversations about it. You're thinking about it, all the different pieces and what they mean. And then we have the Mother of Wands reverse, and this is what feels like it's hopes and fears. And I'm feeling that it's that tender, as you're sort of in this phase of change, this phase of where you're sort of churning something out to a degree, and you're really working to show up in the world, and all the machinery is working. It's all turned on and turned up. There is this desire to, I feel like this hope, where these moments, what it feels like is like, oh, I just want someone to take care of me. Just that wanting to like relax into the care of someone else. So I feel like there are a few moments like that coming up. And there's also this hope for your future. With this card, this speaks to future and to legacy, but more so it's just like family ties and legacy and future. I feel like this is really about, or really, really, there is this thought of sort of creating this warm, cozy future for yourself, and how to do that, and conversations to be had around creating that. So that's coming up strong as well. So, and then moving here at the end of October into November, we have the Eight of Wands and the Sun. So November is looking so bright, and I feel like there's really this momentum and this focus, and that this is where this perseverance really pays off big time. And it's almost like there is that new door opening for you. There's this new door. There's this huge new avenue of possibility that comes forward that is beautiful. And then at the end of October here, it's almost like you might find yourself sort of hitting a bit of a wall to a degree. But right when that hits, that's when you really persevere through, because it's almost like the end of October into November, breakthrough. Huge breakthrough. Avenue of possibility opens. You're aware, you see it, you're on it. You catch that train. But there is sort of that one moment where you're like, oh, and it probably could, I'm sure it'll simultaneously show up with this energy of like, oh, please, I just want someone to take care of me. I just want to be taken care of. I just want things to be settled, to feel safe, to feel sound. Someone to tell me it's going to all be all right. And then breakthrough. So that's beautiful. This is such a welcome sight and wonderful, and then you're on that train and it's going. And then the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, the Star, the Mother of Cups. We're just looking at so much transformational, fulfilling energy here. So this time is really, really full of potential fulfillment on many different levels, emotional and fiscal. And there's this dream that's coming forward, this this understanding of who you are. And I feel that this time, especially with the Mother of Cups, it's quite, again, and I said this earlier, I believe, but it's this reflective time where your environment is really reflecting back to you what you're putting out. So it's a great time to sort of understand that and see yourself in your environment and see what resonates, see what you like and see what you don't. And but I feel like more than anything, it's this mirror of reflecting a lot of the good in you and the good of what wants to be amplified in your life back to you. So there's a lot of beauty around you. And it feels like a very dynamic beauty, like an intimate beauty. So this is just such a meaningful time. So much strong, powerful energy coming through for you. Really, really profound, vision, looking into the future, rising to the occasion. Your environment looks like it's pulling in some strong, some strong characters to continue to help you rise into the best version of yourself. And so there's a lot of support there in that way. And I just love you so much. And I hope that this was helpful. Do check out your rising and your moon sign. So that way, because these are such general readings. So check that out so you can piece together a more holistic reading for yourself according to your own personal natal chart. And please like, subscribe, comment. I love you. I love you. I love you.